What's up, guys? Thanks and welcome back to Gaslit News. In case you haven't been gaslit enough, got something else for you. Yeah. Trump strikes again with viral candy move during first Halloween back at White House. Unbelievable. I don't celebrate Halloween, and I don't celebrate holidays, in case any of you guys didn't know. But I don't. There's reason for that. And like I was telling a new friend of mine, um, it's best for my family that way because we don't wait until one day of the year to give gifts. We'll wait until one day of the year to make a big home cooked meal. Sheesh. That's why my life is so busy. Yeah, we're grateful for each other each and every single day. So things don't mount up to times like this. And when they do things like this, take away. I can't believe what's actually going on, but in any event, of course, he's going to celebrate something spooky and dark like Halloween. Like, this is all a joke to him. Look at this. And whose kids, who brought their kids there? Who brought their kids there to actually show up for this? This is terrible. This is what I can say. I hope that nobody is actually going to go out there and start stealing, because if you steal, they'll kill, right? And this is not entitlement. We were not, the Medicare is one thing, right? But this was a help. And so I used to get food stamps. Praise Jesus Christ, I was able to get myself off of it and just not reapply, and just buy the food with whatever money that I was gracious enough from God to be able to earn, I'll be able to obtain, so, and I mean, guys, this just takes things all the way back. I mean, it's really sad that they led us all into this weird destruction. But at the end of the day, and this is why I don't celebrate the holidays, none of these things, because, at one point I was proud to be a Native American Indian woman. But it's very clear that there's something that my people did very, very wrong. And it got the Lord, maker and creator of heaven and earth, very angry at us for what to happen have happened. So, no, not going to be praying to ancestors or repeating any of that blasphemy. And I'm not going to participate in pagan holidays from people that came and took the land from my people, a land that was already cursed by us. Well, because of us, by the maker and creator of the earth, heaven and earth. And so, no, what I aim to do is to not get back to a grassroots, but to get to a level that, better, a level that my ancestors obviously didn't reach or fumbled the ball when they did reach it, you know? And it's very clear that it's not a good idea to participate in their holidays and their things like this. It's for your mental health. So then you put all this stock into one day, and you say, this one day is about family, this one day is about gifts, this one day, this one day, this one day. And then you see it on the TV and you see it at work and this and this and that. If your mind frame is there of this world, and this world, by this world, I do mean America, because that's what you're surrounded with, right? Then just as America crumbles, and I believe the mind will also too. And that's not something that I was always aware of, completely in its entirety. Shout out to the Master's Voice Prophecy blog. I actually just felt things in my spirit, and I just felt that certain things were wrong, certain things we were doing were wrong, and the belief systems were wrong. And now it's just like the Lord is showing us very wrong. And when you participate in these things like, all these pagan holidays and all these handouts, which is fine if someone needs the help, we need the help. Grateful to whatever help we can get. It comes to be a situation where you're now okay. You know what I'm saying? It's just like nobody should ever have to tell you when to leave the party. And I just feel like a lot of people are going to be making excuses to be thieves, making excuses to hurt people, making excuses. You didn't care about, if you really cared about food that much and where the money was coming from to get this food, because you knew you weren't earning it, right? Then it would seem that you would solidify that on your own. You wouldn't leave it up to someone else. It doesn't make any sense to leave it up to someone else to feed you other than the Lord. And then when that person decides to stop, you're going to get mad and hurt innocent people. You're going to hurt businesses that are already going to be hurting because they can't get that money. Like it's like a circle of life. There's so many. You got to realize all of the monies that were being spent in these stores are not going to be spent this month. Food's going to spoil and go bad. It's going to be really bad for everyone, even the people who have the money, actual money to keep shopping. So this is horrific. And I say, don't make a bad situation worse. Why would you risk? It's getting ice cold out here. These guys are out here. And you think we're brown, guys. We're brown. There's no such a place called black land. And if you think they came here for the brown people, then they came here for the brown people. And as you can see, they're coming up with any reason or excuse to get people in the back of those cars, whether they're picking them up off of their feet. This is horrific. Your children need you. There's a way you can figure out, it doesn't make any sense to say that you're going to go out and steal and get these things. It doesn't make any sense. What does make sense is actually with the food you were able to obtain in the month of October is making sure that things like whole chicken, bake a whole chicken with stuffing. Doesn't matter if it's a holiday or not, that stuff lasts. They have roast, that stuff lasts. You have things where you can cut up your cubed meat and you can add rice and peppers and seasons. You guys are on YouTube. You can make these foods. You don't have to do these things. I'm going to put a clip and put it on TikTok because I guess that's where people need to see it. Speaking of TikTok, let's see what they're talking about doing now.
A few moments later. Out to me today about the news that's spreading that people that receive SNAP benefits will not receive their benefits starting November 1st. SNAP benefits, EBT, that is food stamps. And yes, a letter was sent to states to tell them to withhold releasing funds to recipients, dear. And in that letter, they were talking about the shutdown. But that's not what's going on. No, baby, I've got the entire cup of tea. So what you may not know is that back in May, the current regime sent letters all across the US of A to the SNAP departments, to the EBT departments, requesting data on EBT recipients, those who receive food stamp benefits, going all the way back,
Wow.
this is important, all the way back to 2020. Now, what was going on in the United States in 2020? The flu-pocalypse. And because of the flu-pocalypse, people in the United States were receiving SNAP benefits that had never received SNAP benefits before under emergency SNAP benefits. Millions of Americans who had never received SNAP benefits before were receiving them because we were in a national emergency because of the flu-pocalypse. Just like people who had never before qualified for unemployment because they were 1099 employees were receiving unemployment benefits because we were in a crisis here. Okay. So it's safe to say that a whole lot of the people who started freshly and newly receiving benefits in 2020 are no longer receiving those benefits anymore because that emergency is over. Right? Right. Now, blue states refuse 27 blues. No, wait. 27 states turned over that data. Red states. They turned over that data to the federal government about who in their state receives these SNAP benefits. And this isn't regular data. This is all your personal information. You see, we already give data to the federal government about SNAP benefits, not the names of the people who receive it or their home addresses or their social security numbers or all that other stuff that you put on those applications. Just data about how many people are receiving the benefits and what the amounts are. That's normal. But asking for all this personal data is not. Well, this is a
Well, that's interesting.
Washington, D.C. Of course, we have been waiting for this judgment as those SNAP benefits, also known as food stamps, were set to expire tomorrow, November 1st. And so many were facing questions of how they would continue to feed themselves. But just coming there from Boston, judges have now ordered the federal government to use contingency funds for SNAP food aid payments during this shutdown. So to talk a lot more about what we're seeing here, how this is set up, and how we got to the point that we're at now, I'm going to bring into the conversation legal analyst Nima Armani. Nima, thanks so much for being with us. Perfect timing as this news just came out a few minutes ago. SNAP benefits have now been decided by the federal judge to continue to grow while the government
Testing on the mic. Guys, there was about 20 million spent on the ballroom. And then 40 billion went to Argentina, and then they later lied and said that 20 billion went to Argentina. Let's see here. And so here's the thing, guys. This is why I'm saying, oh my gosh, $300 million was spent on the ballroom project. $300 million. Guys, this isn't getting any more gaslighting than this. Like, this is like a gaslit nation at this point. $300 million in the ballroom, $40 billion to Argentina. They don't give a shit about anybody here. None of us. Like, we have got to go. Hey, people did the wrong thing, okay? It's time to repent. It's time to understand that there is no life without God. And it just seems as though no one's going to do that. So it's just going to keep on tumulting into this hole. And yeah, you know that there's nothing left after. And so it's so horrific. And all right, in any event, I was seeking to leave this country since last year. I want to say, and definitely I'm not even going to say when I got my passport, but it was the latter part of last year that I've been seeking to leave the country. And so I started doing research about the safest place for us to go and then like the safest place to live. So guys, there are places in Argentina that are the safest places to live in the entire world because there are places in Argentina where you actually have to have a lot of money to go there, like official business. Like, I went and I researched it, and there was like so much that I needed, either like a ton of money or I needed to have it. Yeah, basically a ton of money to say, hey, I'm going to start this business here, or have a business that I can actually switch there, or like a ton of money. Like, it's insane, guys. And the land is so rich. Do you understand what's happening now? $40 billion is going to secure the seats of the richest people and certain seats in the government. When this shit is already going to flame in a fire, they'll be playing AI on the news, and those people will literally be living it up in Argentina. Right.
We've been following for the past more than 24 hours now. Many of us expected a ruling yesterday, but Judge Talwani in Massachusetts issued her ruling today. And it really comes down to those contingency funds in the Department of Agriculture. So obviously we know there's a government shutdown and Congress can pass a spending bill, a continuing resolution, standalone legislation related to these SNAP benefits. But this isn't politics, this is the law. And approximately half the states in the District of Columbia, they filed a lawsuit challenging the Department of Agriculture's refusal to release these contingency funds. Now, we're talking about more than $5 billion. Seems like a lot of money, but
Oh, 5 billion. Oh, 5 billion. Oh, 5 billion. But there was 40 billion sent to Argentina, which they then later lied and said it was 20 billion. It doesn't matter where's your money going? And if they are going to stop this funding, why are they still taking money out of our paychecks? Well, why is anybody still paying their taxes then? Like this. And so do you see the conundrum that they will put all of the citizens in just so that they can come and make it an ice cold situation for you? Like, this is ridiculous. Guys, please, please, please buy me a coffee, a pizza. Literally go to this site, buymeacoffee.com. I need you guys to donate. Get me to your country. If you guys are postponed, I'll go over there, darling. It's a bit chilly and I don't like the cold, and so I will suffer drastically, dramatically. But I'll be all online on the telly, belly, phone, felly, for your entertainment purposes only. And that's going to be great, guys. So just donate so I can get out of here. And if you want to see me somewhere else, then I'll go there. Guys, I would love to go to Argentina. I would love to go to Argentina. Well, all things are possible with the Lord Jesus Christ. You never know. Never know where I'm going to end up. And you guys can have a lot to do with that. Donate.
That program costs the department approximately $8.5 to $9 billion a month. So this will only get us through a few weeks, but the Department of Agriculture's position has been that these contingency funds can only be used for an emergency. And they describe that emergency to be a natural disaster, not something political like a government shutdown.
Yeah, but this guy is proposed himself to be a disaster. Maybe not natural, but if his mom gave natural birth to him.
But the judge apparently disagreed, and she ruled that this is the type of emergency that would require the release of those contingency funds.
And so, I want to put this up on the screen and just also show people the vantage point that we have there when it comes to some of this breaking news. Inside of our newsroom, we just got this tuned up on your screen. Want to put it there from Reuters as well. Showing that the federal judge in Rhode Island is decided to also block President Donald Trump administration from suspending all food aid for millions of Americans amidst this ongoing government shutdown. I have to ask you, a lot of question about precedents was asked here, whether or not this would continue on, because in the 61 years that SNAP benefits have been out there hasn't been a lack for folks who so heavily rely on it. 1 in 8 Americans.
And that's an important issue in this case. And not only is decades of precedent, but also the 2008 Food and Nutrition Act that says that the Department of Agriculture shall provide these benefits. So what the states argued was that this was a violation of the Administrative Procedures Act. This is a federal agency that is really ignoring federal law. This is a federal agency that is really ignoring federal law. This is a federal agency that is really ignoring federal law.